Story time, it's been a while. Hey, I know all these events are true. Let's get into the story time. Now, this place is taking place in Chicago and Gary, Indiana. And I think it was the west side of Chicago. Anywho, I had a client recently. She's been a client for mine for years, about 2 years exact. The problem is every time we told her that she had work to do, she would come to the lives to get readings. And when we would tell her to get these readings, it was always like pulling teeth. Now, needless to say, she would only come to me because her ancestors would pop up on me first. When her ancestors started popping up on me more, the more information we started to receive. Now, the more information that we started to receive, the more she started to run away from the messages that were supposed to be given. One of the biggest messages that she was told was be mindful of her husband and be prepared to leave your husband by December or January, December of 2025, or January of 2026. Now, the crazy thing is, she would come to the live consistently and would ask for love readings all the goddamn time. Now, me, I always ask my clients or people that come to the live, do you want to know the truth or do you want me to lie to you? The main reason why I ask this, or my sister asked this, is because a lot of people can't handle the truth, so they rather for you to sugarcoat it and make it seem like it is cute than when it's not. Now, her husband wasn't having an affair. The problem was is that he was going through a lot of trauma that was starting to surface, which would cause him to drink on the weekends. So sure enough, she comes into the live again and the same message comes. And then a couple of months later, the same message comes. Then the next couple of months, about 3, 4, 5 months later, same message will come. Now take it, this is all happening in 2024 and 2025, that the same exact message, very crepit, very distinctive, very vital and very important information. And it was very detail oriented. It was just certain things that she wasn't supposed to do. Well, my thing is this, right? It's crazy how people come into your life and want to know the information, but don't ever want the work done. And then it's a waste of your goddamn energy and your time in the first place. Needless to say, she kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it. Well, her ancestors was asking her to give an offering. But because she didn't know how to give the offering, we told her we can do it, but there's a fee. Now, of course, she didn't want to do that. She'd rather for us to do the work for free, and we're not going to do that because guess what? It is your life and not ours. And plus, it is not our spirits that are asking for the offerings, it's yours. Needless to say, she disappeared and didn't say anything. Now, this happened around August, right, of 2025, where she disappeared, didn't say nothing. By the end of August 2025, she came back and was just like, okay, I'm ready, because so much is going on in her life and her marriage. Now, she didn't want to do the work that was prescribed for her. She wanted to save her goddamn marriage. Now, it was already told to her that she needs to leave the marriage alone. She wasn't supposed to stay in the marriage. Matter of fact, the marriage was supposed to actually teach her a lesson. You know, get her prepared for her actual soulmate that she was blocking by being with this guy. But needless to say, you think she listened? No, she didn't listen to crap. It was just like speaking to a brick wall, which a lot of you all do that very much. So she disappeared again at the end of 2025. Now it is what, October 2025? She comes back in October 2025 crying in her emotions, coming in her live, coming in our live, wanting a full in-depth reading while we're on the live, interrupting other people's reading because she wanted attention, the attention that she wasn't getting at home. Now, needless to say, we told her not to start confrontation with this man because it wouldn't end well. So, needless to say, she didn't hear the advice, nor did she do the offer, nor the work, wasted our time and our energy, and she was warned. Now, see, the funny thing is because she was warned and she thought that she was going to get off scot-free, well, Spirit had another situation for her that taught her ass a lesson. So, sure enough, December 2025 comes around. She's asking for another reading, and this time she's asking for work to help her with a divorce because it went completely toxic. He didn't already bust her upside the head. She had a bloody nose and was bruised up and everything else. She said she couldn't do it anymore. She didn't want her kids seeing her. Then on top of that, her daughter was getting touched by her husband. Now the crazy thing is because her husband had multiple personalities. He would go back into this youthful age to where he would want to touch this little girl. And needless to say, it's not his daughter because it was one of her older daughters. He had the last two children with her. So, sure enough, the daughter told her it was somebody that was in school that touched her and lied on him. And the poor boy actually ended up getting locked up. The crazy thing about it is the boy didn't even really know the girl so much. He knew her older sister. Well, he was a friend around the neighborhood to some of the guys, and the sister was real close with him and invited him over the house while the mother wasn't there. And that's what made the situation worse because the boy was there with his friends, trying to hook his friend up with the sister, the older sister. And he actually liked the younger sister, but he didn't get to see her that day because she was literally getting touched by the father. Needless to say, the boy ended up getting locked up for it and catching a charge and got a 12-year bid. And his parents and family are still trying to fight for it. A lot of confusion, and then the daughter ended up getting pregnant for her husband. When she found out that the husband was touching her daughter, which is the daughter's stepfather, it threw her through the roof because she actually thought the daughter was throwing herself on the child. I mean, not the child, but the stepfather. And of course not. The child is 14 years old. She wasn't doing any of that. The thing was is he's been taking her energy, her essence since she was 10. Mother didn't pay attention to anything. Just constantly getting readings on this man, and it was told to her time and time again that this man was the one that actually did something to her daughter. So, after all that transpired, they got into a big argument in December. So she wanted a divorce, and the divorce was not going to work in her favor because she was an unfit parent, didn't have a job, didn't do this, didn't do that. So she would have ended up losing her kids, and some other things would have happened. So instead, she wanted to do love work to actually make stuff work. Now, how we operate, we're not going to do love work for that BS. And she knew this, so she paid somebody else to do the love work. And because the woman did the love work and it actually backfired on our client, guess what happened to our client? Well, here it is, January. What? January 17th, our client passed away in January 15th of this year. And our sister left me a message on TikTok letting me know that our client passed. The moral of this story is when you get a reading and you're told to do the work, a lot of times it's here to save your life and get you out of that situation. If she would have done the work, she actually would have got the divorce and would have kept her kids, and a lot of other things would have helped her. Get the work done and quit playing. But that's all on y'all. I ain't got time. Peace.